How men secretly test high-value women they truly want. Most women I've met tell me the same thing. They're convinced that men stop testing women at this age. They believe that once a man turns 60, all he wants is peace, loyalty, and companionship. Someone to care for him in the quiet years ahead. A man who's been through 2 marriages. I see the truth that after 60, older men think even more carefully about the kind of woman they choose to stand beside them. Because connection, at this age, is not as same as when you're 30, 40, goes far beyond comfort or desire. It's about finding someone who can reach the deepest parts of who they are, who understands the pain they've carried for a lifetime. And perhaps most of all, it's because they know there may not be another chance to start again. So trust me, when an older man truly values a woman, he doesn't fall for her looks or her charm. He quietly watches how she reacts. Not to play games, not to waste time, but to see if you're the kind of woman he can actually trust, respect, and commit to. And the crazy part? These tests are rarely direct. They happen in subtle, everyday moments that reveal your true character. Welcome back to my channel. It's Vernon again. Today, we're uncovering how men secretly test high-value women they truly want, especially after 60. If you've ever wondered why a man sometimes pulls away, goes quiet, or challenges you unexpectedly, it's not random. It's deliberate. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more insights on love, emotional awareness, and the psychology of relationships after 60. Let's break down the hidden ways men test women not to play games, but to find out who's truly worth opening their heart to. Number 1. Emotional triggers. How he gauges confidence. Here's something most older women never realize. When an older man truly wants you, he doesn't always say it outright. Instead, he watches, quietly, subtly, especially after 60. When his priorities have shifted from excitement to emotional safety, he pays close attention to how you react. Every confident response tells him something. Every defensive one tells him even more. At this age, he doesn't look for perfection. He looks for calm. In conversation, he notices how she holds silence. A confident woman doesn't rush to fill the air. She lets the moment breathe. He reads the eyes, gently. Is there fear of judgment there, or ease? Has she made peace with her own worth? Small tests appear as soft weather. A vague remark, a delayed reply, a changed plan. Does she steady herself, or chase control? He listens to his body's barometer. If her presence quiets the noise inside, he takes note. Real confidence feels like a warm room. He watches how she receives praise. A simple, thank you, no disclaimers. Grace, without performance. He might say something teasing, delay a reply, or challenge a small opinion not to play games, but to observe whether you hold your center or lose it. He's not looking for perfection. He's looking for peace. Because after a lifetime of noise, failed relationships, heartbreaks, and misunderstandings, he's drawn to women who don't get easily shaken. A woman who doesn't rush to explain herself, defend herself, or prove her worth stands out like light in a storm. She shows him that she's emotionally mature, secure in who she is, and doesn't need constant validation to feel love. Because the truth is, confidence after 60 isn't about how much you speak or how strong you appear. It's about the calm you carry. It's the steadiness in your tone when life gets uncomfortable. The grace you show when someone disagrees with you. The way you stay kind even when the moment turns tense. It's not about pretending everything is fine. It's about trusting that you'll be fine, no matter what happens. Older men aren't drawn to drama or defensiveness. They've lived through enough of both. What captures their attention is a woman who can navigate emotion with balance. She doesn't need to win every argument. She doesn't chase reassurance. And she doesn't crumble under silence. She knows her worth, and that quiet certainty is magnetic. When a man sees that kind of strength wrapped in softness, something shifts inside him. He doesn't just admire her, he feels safe with her. Safe enough to open up, to be real, to imagine a life where peace isn't rare. In the end, a confident woman doesn't demand love, she attracts it, simply by being centered in who she is. And once a man recognizes that calm strength, he moves to the next test, not of your emotions, but of your consistency. Number 2. Boundaries and silence as his real test. When an older man is truly interested in a woman of high value, he won't test her with words, he'll test her with space. It's not always intentional or manipulative. Sometimes it's instinctive. After 60, a man has learned that genuine connection can only exist with mutual respect, and nothing reveals that faster than how a woman handles boundaries and silence. He may take a little longer to reply, cancel a plan, or step back after a deep conversation, not because he's playing games, but because he wants to see how you respond. Do you panic and chase for reassurance, or do you remain composed, trusting your own worth? That reaction tells him everything. Men who value peace are drawn to women who can give space without assuming the worst. Because after decades of emotional noise, he's not looking for constant attention. He's looking for understanding. A woman who can let silence breathe, who doesn't rush to fill every pause with worry or words, carries a kind of quiet power that few truly understand. It's not indifference, it's inner peace. She knows that real connection doesn't vanish just because the phone stays silent for a day, or because he needs a little distance to think. She doesn't chase, overanalyze, or assume the worst. Instead, she trusts the bond she's building and the value she brings into it. To a mature man, that kind of composure is magnetic. It tells him she's not driven by fear, but by confidence. Confidence in herself, in her timing, and in what she deserves. She doesn't need constant validation to feel secure. She's already found that security within, and that's exactly what sets her apart. After 60, when both people have weathered heartbreaks and learned from past mistakes, peace becomes the most irresistible quality in love. A woman who can sit in silence without insecurity communicates strength without a single word. It's as if her calm presence says, "I know who I am, and I don't need noise to prove it." So the next time he grows quiet, don't rush to fill the space. Let it speak for you. Because in the calm of that silence, he'll realize something more powerful. Number 3. How to pass his pull-away test. Every mature man, whether consciously or not, will eventually create distance, not to punish or confuse you, but to observe. After 60, men have learned that attraction can be easy, but emotional stability is rare. So when he begins to pull away, taking longer to reply, becoming quieter, or spending more time alone, he's watching how you handle uncertainty. This moment is less about him disappearing and more about what you do in his absence. Most older women take this as rejection. They start to overthink, reach out too often, or fill the silence with questions that only push him further. But a high-value woman sees this for what it really is, a rhythm, not a rejection. She doesn't chase. She adjusts. She focuses on her own life, her friends, her routines, her joy, and allows him the space to process without resentment. Because men, especially at this stage in life, pull away not just to test you, but to regulate themselves. They need to know they can have individuality within a relationship, that closeness won't cost them freedom. When he sees that you can remain warm, steady, and self-sufficient even when he steps back. He feels safe to step forward again, this time with more trust. My neighbor Jessie, the one I go trekking with at the end of every month, once told me a story that fit this perfectly. She'd been seeing a widower named Paul for about a year. Everything was going smoothly until out of nowhere, he began to grow distant. Fewer calls, shorter messages, canceled plans with soft excuses. Jessie said, "The old me would have panicked. I would have asked what I did wrong. But this time, she didn't. She gave him space. No accusations, no guilt. She focused on her own life instead. Our weekend hikes, her garden, her friends." 2 weeks later, Paul came by with flowers and an apology. He told her he'd needed time to sort out emotions he didn't expect to feel again at his age. What impressed him most wasn't her silence, it was her peace. Jessie laughed when she told me, "I didn't chase him, and somehow he came back faster." And that's the lesson sometimes. The real power isn't in holding on tighter, but in knowing when to let go and trust what's meant for you to find its way back. Have you ever been in Jessie's situation where a man suddenly pulled away and you had to decide whether to chase him or stay still? How did you handle that moment? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might be exactly what another woman needs to hear to stop doubting her calm. In the next time he retreats, don't take it personally. Use that space to grow instead of to worry. Because the woman who doesn't crumble when he pulls away is the one he'll always return to, not out of guilt, but out of genuine respect and desire. And that brings us to the heart of it all, the one quality that shapes every connection, every reaction, and every outcome in love after 60. Number 4. The power of self-worth in dating. There's one thing that quietly changes everything in love after 60, how you see yourself. Because every test a man gives you, whether through silence, space, or emotion, eventually leads back to this question: do you still believe you are enough? Self-worth is what separates a woman who reacts from a woman who responds. It's the invisible boundary that tells a man, "I value connection, but I won't chase what isn't mutual." When a woman carries that energy, she doesn't need to prove her worth through effort. Her peace already proves it, and the right man feels it immediately. You see, older men can sense when a woman truly knows who she is. It's something that can't be faked. It's in her presence, not her words. It's in the way she speaks with clarity, not urgency. In the calm behind her eyes when someone tries to test her boundaries. She's lived enough life to understand that not every spark is meant to become a fire, and not every man who shows up deserves a seat at her table. She doesn't beg for time or chase for validation. When a man pulls away, she doesn't crumble. She simply steps back too, not out of pride, but out of self-respect. Because she's learned that real love doesn't need convincing. It meets her halfway. And when he sees that her grace, her stillness, her quiet certainty, something shifts in him. He realizes this is a woman who's already complete. She's not seeking a savior or a project. She's inviting a partner. That's what makes her irresistible. Her power isn't in what she demands. It's in what she no longer tolerates. My friend Teresa once said something that stayed with me. The moment I stopped trying to be chosen, I started attracting men who wanted to stay. That's the power of self-worth. It shifts love from chasing to choosing. Because when you know your value, you don't fear losing a man. If this part of the video resonates with you, if you've ever felt that quiet strength of knowing your worth, take a moment to like this video. It's a small way to remind yourself, and other women watching, that confidence and self-respect never go out of style. You trust that the right one will never make you question it. This leads us to the next truth. where real connection begins. Number 5. When he knows you're the one. As an older man realizes he's found the woman he doesn't want to lose, something in him settles. The tension that once drove him to impress starts to fade, replaced by a calm kind of devotion. He no longer needs to test your patience or question your intentions. He simply knows. The games stop. The effort becomes consistent. The energy between you shifts from proving to preserving. He knows you're the one. He starts to show up in small but consistent ways. He remembers your words, not because he's trying to impress you, but because they matter to him. He includes you in his plans, seeks your opinion, and treats your time like something sacred. You'll notice it not through promises, but through reliability. The way he's there, not just when it's easy, but when it's inconvenient. Men over 60 don't fall for appearances anymore. Not the polished smile, not the perfect outfit, not the practiced charm. They've seen enough to know that beauty fades fast when peace is missing. What captures their heart now is alignment, the feeling of being understood without having to explain everything. They're drawn to women whose calm mirrors their own rhythm, whose presence brings quiet instead of pressure. And when he feels that soft balance of warmth and acceptance, something deep inside him exhales. He no longer feels the need to perform, to prove, or to pretend. He starts building instead, slowly, intentionally, quietly. Because for the first time in a long time, he's not chasing love. He's home in it. And if you've ever been in that place where a man's actions started speaking louder than his words, give this video a like and tell me in the comments what that moment felt like for you. Because next, we'll close this journey with a truth that ties everything together. Why love after 60 feels quieter but stronger than ever. Love after 60 isn't about chasing what was lost. It's about recognizing what still lives quietly inside you. The tests, the silences, the spaces, they're not games. They're the ways mature men look for peace, not perfection. And for women who know their worth, those moments become opportunities to show what real confidence and calm love look like. By now, you've seen that it's never about appearance, timing, or even circumstance. It's about alignment. The connection between two people who have lived enough life to understand that love isn't supposed to shake your foundation. It's supposed to steady it. When a man finds that in you, he stops searching, stops performing, and starts cherishing. Because real love at this age doesn't shout, it rests. It doesn't chase, it chooses. It's quiet, respectful, and deeply rooted in mutual peace. And that's what makes it so powerful. It grows slower, but it lasts longer. If this message touched something in you, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel. Your presence here keeps these conversations alive. Gentle reminders that love after 60 isn't over. It's just becoming real. And I'm Vernon. Thank you for watching my video till now, and see you next time.